working with at Darkcity Radio. Compassion Club utilizes this magnificent plan in every conceivable way. It will do much to promote peace and harmony among nations. Peace and harmony among nations. Being a new beginning for mankind. So I hope you will support our plan to build a better way of life that will give both mankind and this earth as we know it a future.
Right, good evening everybody, we're back. You never know what's going to happen on Darkcity Radio. Neither do I, actually. Neither do I. Anyway, a little bit of an impromptu show. There's quite a few people gathered together here in the Darkcity studio. Well, my front room really, but hey, quite a few people here with me this evening. And also gathered together with us, we got Richard, who was on earlier with us. He's hung around with us. From over in Denmark. We've got Lee, who's in Spain. We've got Barry, who's in Canada. We've got Chris, who's in the south of England. We've got Andrew, who's in the middle of England. I'm in the north of England. And we've got Joe, who's joined us over from Canada as well. We're going to get to Joe maybe a little bit. He can throw something in, but it's like first time he's experienced Darkcity. And he's like, what? Well, you can do it right now. But then he actually took 3 deep breaths and went, oh yeah, that'll be all right. And then it was too late. Dave turned up, and Dave's turned up with kind of like, well, I actually heard about it because it you know, hey, I used my psychic connection with my glass ball. I tuned into the glass ball, and the psychic wave came through. Well, actually, it involved Saddam shoving a text message in my left eye. Anyway, Dave, I'll give you the microphone, man. Let it roll, bro.
Oh no, I've had a really crap day today, and I was just coming back from seeing my 2 boys there in the old diesel car. And
1 second, Dave. 1 second. Joe, can you mute your microphone, man? It's really cool. We can hear you in on your bong, but could you mute your microphone?
The microphone.
The microphone. Thank you. Go on, Dave. Carry on. Hang on. Mrs. Joe's going to sort it out. You can always trust on a woman, can't you? Well done, dear. Thank you very much indeed. Us blokes, hey, can't
yeah,
do anything.
It was kind of...
Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of funny because I wasn't really in the frame of mind at all to be pulled over by 2 assholes. And I'm doing, 40 mile an hour in a 50 mile an hour zone, pottering along, minding my own business. And they come, they do the usual thing where they hang on the back of you for ages and ages and ages. The next thing, then we get the lights on, pulled over into a bus stop. So he comes up alongside the window, and usually I don't get too excited, but I said just so you're aware, I said I'm recording this conversation. What's your what's your name and blah blah blah. I said, am I required to give? I said, am I obliged to give you my name? I said, can you tell me what I've done wrong? So, the usual thing, the name game and all that crap. And he was, well, you haven't done anything wrong. And I said, well, why are you stopping me? What have I done wrong sort of thing? And, well, we need your name. And I said, as soon as you can tell me what I've done wrong, I'll give you my name. This went on for a bit, and this guy is pretty excited. And I can't remember exactly how it went. How it sort of played out. He said, oh, well, I need to check your documents. And I said, am I required to give you any documents? And he said, oh, well, driving license, insurance, and MOT. No, I said, the only thing I'm required to give you, I said, if you ask for it. I said, and I'm not even required to give it to you. I said, I'm required to give it to the government, and that is my driving license. I said, but I don't have it anymore. I don't use it. What, you haven't got a driving license? I said, I don't really know. I sent it to the Attorney General with a load of writing sprawled across it, and cancelled it for a constructive fraud and blah 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 blah. I said, but he sent it back to me. I said, and DVLA want me to send it up to them to put points on it, and I don't know what points are, and I don't recognise them. I said, so I just don't use it anymore. Am I required to use it? So this guy is absolutely furious now. He is like, I am, I must be like the criminal mastermind of South Wales. So, but it's very, very confusing for him. And how does the conversation go then? I said to him, can you just tell me, do I get my right to drive off the UK government or the police? And he went, yes, no. He said, no. And I said, so who do I get my right to drive from then? And he had to think about that one. And I said, well, you can't get your right to drive off anybody because it's a right. so he's desperate now for my name. And he's starting to say, you're obstructing me and blah, blah, blah. I said, my name's Dave. I said, what about it? Like, so it went on a bit longer, and he's getting very excited now. This guy is like, borderline veins coming up on his neck and stuff. So I said, look, my name's Dave Mathews. I said, and my date of birth is blah, 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 blah. Have I committed an indictable offence? Well, no, I just need to check your documents and check your driving license. I said, well, I don't need a driving license to drive. I said, even if I had one, I said I wouldn't be using it. I don't use it. I don't use it anymore. So he does his checks, and he comes back to the window and all the rest of it. And he says, well, he's forgotten about insurance now. He's not interested in insurance because I told him I'm not required to produce insurance to him, which is factual. We know that to be factual from previous shows. And he says, your license has been revoked. I said, as far as I'm aware, it hadn't. I said, they wanted it back a bit ago to put points on it. But I said, I don't use it anymore. So I said, I don't really care about it. I said, I'm not part of that system. Well, you need a license to drive. And I said, well, I don't think I need a license to drive. I said, I'm never going to have one again, and I do plan to continue driving. So, like, he obviously didn't like that. And I'm going to seize the vehicle. I said, well, I don't really care. I said, it costs 65 quid. It costs pennies. I said, don't really care. I said, if you do seize it or you don't seize it. I said, somebody could come and get it who would be insured to drive it. I said, but no, I'm seizing the vehicle. And I said, well, just so you know, I said, you can seize the vehicle and I'll get out of the vehicle and I'm not going to obstruct you, but I don't consent to you to seize my vehicle. And also, it is, I intend to lay a private criminal prosecution against you for theft of a motor vehicle. I said, also, just so you're aware, I've got an ongoing claim against one of Newport Central's policemen, and this also could be classed as intimidating a witness. Well, his face, he didn't know what to say. He's like, he wants to kill me, he wants to steal the car, but now I've told him he's intimidating a witness and I'm going to do him for theft if he does take it. I said, you can't deprive somebody of property without due process of law. We've got power under the... I said, that's an act. I said, and it does require consent. I said, and, I don't consent to you taking my vehicle, and I will report you for theft. I said, and I'll take action in your personal capacity. I said, because you're acting outside your office. I said, it's unconstitutional. I then got my law book out and read him the quote that said that the Crown only have powers in capacity of an employer. So I've said for the tape then as well. Oh, and I made him shake my hand during the conversation so that he couldn't claim I was being obstructive. And I said to him, I've made you aware that the Crown only have power in the capacity of an employer. I've made you aware that I'm not performing a function of government and I don't work for government. And I've made you aware that I'm not using my driving licence. I've also made you aware that if you take my vehicle, that I will take action against you for theft of a motor vehicle. It's not theft, mate. It's not theft. I said, well, okay, whatever you want to do. I said, but you're getting into something really big. If you do this, you're getting into something really big. So by this time now, he doesn't even want to talk to me, and he's walking back and forth. The other guy who was with him is now sat in the car and doesn't want anything to do with it. They then start to inspect the car. So I asked them, were they qualified motor technicians? To which they replied, yes, which we know is a complete lie. What they are actually qualified to do is check tyres and stuff. They're not qualified motor technicians, so that is malfeasance of office and whatever other things you want to say. But they're basically lying to me in order to get me to consent to what they want to do. And he said, well, you can get somebody down here to drive the vehicle away then. And if you want me to do any favours to you, you're going to have to stop recording me. And I said, I'll have to stop recording to make the phone call to get somebody down here to take it away, but I don't want you to do me any favours. So he's absolutely jumping, this bloke is, and he said, well, I'm going to report you for driving without a licence and you'll have to go to court. I said, that's brilliant. I said, good. I love going to court. What do you mean you love going to court? You're enjoying this? I said, yeah, I love going to court. Why do you love going to court? I said, well, I can beat them. I said, will you come to court if we go to court? No, I won't come. Well, I said, then I can show you what I'm on about, because I said, I've studied the law. I said, you don't know anything about the law. I said, you've just got a pace manual. I said, I'm actually quoting law at you, and you're telling me that it's not true, yet a law professor wrote it down. So I said, if we do go to court, can I call you as a witness? And he was going, no. And I said, I think you'll find I can. I said, and that's what I'm going to do. Well, they left without taking the vehicle and without making me sign anything and without doing anything whatsoever to me. So it was just, I mean, and by the time they left, the guy wanted to run me over. Like that, there was no way that guy was doing me any favors at all. He literally, I don't know what panicked him the most, whether it was the intimidating the witness or the threat of doing him for theft or what. I don't know what worked. I couldn't tell you, but I know that guy will be having dreams about beating me with a baseball bat tonight. It was just the most funny thing ever, and it was.
Way to go, Dave!
Pardon?
Way to go!
He just caught me in the right mood.
You got me splitting my guts, buddy.
You know, it's like, I'm going to do this to you. Well, I don't care. Well, I'm going to do that to you then. And that'll really scare you. Well, I don't really care about that either. You know, I don't know. Is it because I didn't fear? Is it because of that? I don't know. So that's my story for the night anyway. I should have gone live onto Darkcity when it was happening, shouldn't I? Excuse me, officer. Can I just make you aware that you're live on Darkcity Radio right now?
Play by play. Oh my God.
For the future, if that happens,
yes,
would you like me to call into the show?
Absolutely.
Or would that be bad? Like no matter what happens,
yes.
Could I call into the radio?
Call in.
Yes.
Call in.
And just say, this is being live streamed right the way around the world as we speak, officer. Oh, and he told me, he told me that they were traffic officers, and I said, oh, right. I said, I believe traffic officers are the lowest form of officer.
That's a load of forms?
Traffic officers are the lowest form, aren't they? Oh, dear me.
Anyways.
So that was good fun, anyway.
Hey, Dave. We got a new guy joined us in here. Joe's listening. I don't know what he thinks of that conversation and what's going on in Dark City, but are you still there, Joe?
Yeah, it just brings back every memory, you know, that are countless with the enforcement. Like a couple months ago, they got me off the SkyTrain and searched me because I smelled like marijuana. I don't know why that happened. I just broke my bong. Just bought it.
Just so the listeners know, we've got webcams here. We can see one another, and since Dave started speaking, Joel's continually just filled his bong up. So I've got no idea. I've got no idea why this may have actually happened on the said SkyTrain.
So I've got to say, I'm loving the maple leaf plant in the foreground.
Yes, it is good, that, isn't it? I know it's that.
Well, it wasn't all bad. They got the federal license.
Only on Dark City Radio.
Only on Dark City.
I think it's been embarrassing.
You never know what's going to happen on this station, man.
After showing everybody at the SkyTrain my ounce of weed, he had to give it back to me.
So this guy as well, but like I'm still talking in through the window at him as he's driving off. Because I got out of the car and I was showing him, I was saying, look, I said, this is against the Constitution. You can't just go. And I was saying to him, how far do you have to be pushed before you'll say because he did the I'm just doing my job thing. I said, well, there must be a tipping point here. You know, and I said, would you go and get little girls out of their houses and old grannies and line them up and then sail them off in trains somewhere because they're surplus to requirements? Oh, well, that's a bit extreme. And I said, well, no, I said, I'm just interested to know if there's a point at which you'd go, no, I'm not going to do that job anymore. You know, and all he wanted to do was go, and I still there chatting in through the window at him. Oh, dear me.
Too cool, man. Hey, Joel, Dave's coming to Canada. Maybe we'll have to get him talking down in Vancouver, too.
Oh, my God. Did you get hold of Dean? I can't get hold of Dean Clifford anywhere.
Neither have I. How about you, Paul? Have you been getting in touch with him?
He did actually put an email about us, I think it was today or yesterday, regarding what we're doing and putting out this regarding Rick Simpson and cancer and pretty much, he spoke quite highly of us, basically, by just saying, why are we the only people who were putting it out? Why is nobody else doing it? Hey, have they got a point? Type of thing at Dark City, you know? And so he did speak of us really well. We got somebody else who's with us, also on the line at the moment. Just be aware we can actually hear everything that's going on with your microphone speaks. Jabba, are you there, mate?
Rise up!
Are you there, Jabba?
Rise up!
As you can see, we've got this kind of jingle here, Jabba.
Yeah, I see that.
Rise up!
Well, they were a bit. The jingle machine was a bit late there.
Yeah, it's even with the video. It's cool. so they're dancing the rope.
Go ahead. Jabba.
I just want to ask Dave, you call this bad day? What is a good day then?
No, earlier on I had a bad day.
Okay.
Sounds like you had a lot of fun.
They just caught me at the end of a bad day, and I was just, when you're just really in the mood for we say don't fight. I was really in the mood for a fight. I wanted a bit of confrontation, and I should have just shut up, but I just couldn't help myself.
You were in a confrontational mood.
So, Dave, would it be right to say that in this case the police did actually serve you very well?
Yes, they did. I thought, fuck, I might have to remind them of their oath, but I've forgotten it, and I definitely can't say it in Welsh.
It doesn't often happen that especially here in the UK, and I mean, listening to Joe earlier, even around the world, that there is major problems, with getting good service from the police authorities. Well, like I say, you were looking for a good bit of conflict, and they came along, and like I say, man, this is perhaps what we could use the services for. No, I think that'd be a much better thing. Like we mentioned the other day, when your lad got pulled, Dave. I mean, yeah, we should get the photographs of them now. Good cop, bad cop. We can have the good cop brigade, we can have the bad cop brigade. Now, of course, we've got.
He went through a series of sort of mood swings as well. Like he was very, very belligerent to start with, and then he reached a sort of a bit of calmness, in the middle, and then he was he just wanted my blood. Towards the end, he wanted to kill me. He wanted to drive over me in the big MX-5 or whatever they call it, the X5. So then I started checking his tires.
Yeah, I got that from your story, Dave. That ebb and flow there.
The thing is, I am qualified to check his tires. He wasn't qualified to check mine, and he claimed he was. Don't forget, I own the car he was driving.
Yes, technically you do. Cool, man. What a good story. Made my day.
Excellent.
Well, it's all good fun anyway.
It's all good fun.
So one of the old ideas, Dave, we put in is so that people could actually ring up and we could go live. Of course, when the scheduled shows are on, sometimes it's got to be breaking news. So yeah, that's a great thing to do. A great thing to do. There's a hell of a difference between being on a live stream and being recorded, especially if you can get Skype on your phone, because then you can get text. And then we can ask them questions, which works really well. And also then we can actually speak back to them. You can put them on the phone, and that kind of really.
And if they ask who you are, of course you are independent police observers.
We're the world's free media stream, and you're live. And of course, there's a charge of £44 and 22 pence for any corporate body or services for actually using our service. I mean, for all you people out in the world who are not, then of course Dark City is free. So yeah, they get 10 minutes to deal with you, Dave, and if they can't deal with you expediently, then of course there is the minimum charge. Life in servitude as a policeman.
Oh, this could be over so quickly, and you're being obstructive. This needn't have happened at all. Oh my God! No,
It does actually. It really is weird. It is like having our little stream, like I say. And I mean, if they can close us down. Although we have multiple ground stations, like I say, we've done that. We thought it was a matter of precaution. Now we kind of know that it was a good foresight. But they could take us out if they really wanted to. So yeah, I mean, let's enjoy it where we can. It is what it is. So let's have fun with it. That's what it's all about.
So would it be a good idea then, Paul, to maybe?
Oh yes. Yes.
To maybe me get like a bit more technical, so that I can have a Skype and then I can webcam the me speaking to any police that may want to pull me over, and then I can actually, like you say, we've got the world media live stream.
Oh yeah, I mean, the listeners won't know about this, but when we actually built the servers, we did build them with the storage capability to do video as well. Now our servers as they are would not handle video streaming, but that doesn't mean that we can't. We're only a step away. Of course, we needed to get the full system up and running. We're only one server away, and like I said earlier, it's organic, and we haven't moved that direction. This is where it's took us. We've realised by having radio, by being able to get our voice out there, then we are being able to do it with this. Do we really need television? Well, I think yes. We are going to end up with live webcams going to the web page at least, which is achievable. But the main reason for that is not to catch out the police or anything, but was to document some of the things that we're actually doing live. So, Lee?
Yeah, I reckon it's a great idea anyway, Dave, because even if you're recording on your phone and they get really funny and they give you a good kick-in, for example, the chances are they're going to fucking take the memory out your phone.
Yeah.
But if you're streaming through Skype to the radio and Paul's hit the little record button, then
they can't do jack shit about it.
Yeah, even if you get a good kick in, you've got the evidence all the way to the use and the here. Look, you get that fucking stick out.
Just one correction there for you, Dave. If that does occur, and Lee's hitting the record button. Why do you always put me hitting the record button? Lee can hit the record button now. Can't you, Lee? Lee can go and hit the record button. So can Sadama. No, yeah, at the moment.
Okay, I'll rephrase that. The producer at this moment could hit the record.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the idea. We need to get as many people as we possibly can, to be able to do that. And then it does become 24 hours a day.
Oh, and I think when I said to him about coming to court, I think I said to give evidence, and he said, "What evidence?" And I said, "Evidence that Section 172 of the Road Traffic Act is applicable to me." And I told him he was working on presumptions of law as well. There's loads of stuff I'm sure I've forgotten that I said, but it's just funny, isn't it? Go on, Barry.
Oh, I think it'd be really cool to do a video of 80-pound halibut trying to pull Rick into the ocean. And we could do a live stream right from the Pacific Ocean. We'll do a show, Dave, right out from Squatter Ree, and we'll do a live feed of us landing some fish. So there you go. Our first TV show. Okay, that's what I wanted to add, guys. Hey, Joe, and it was nice for you to have come in today, Joe, and I'm going to keep up the work in Vancouver there. It's going to become quite an ordeal down there. I know that between the time we're talking now and the time that actually Rick is in Vancouver. We got 5 weeks now to work with, so.
I've had quite a response in a quick amount of time here, and getting the gig together for you guys, and So I'm getting a lot of questions like from patients, how much dosage and stuff, and I tell them it's all a bag of oranges, and like I had 6 peach trees, and there's always this one peach tree that had the biggest, sweetest oranges. It's like when you go to the store and buy a bag of oranges, sometimes it's not as sweet as like other times, right? It's like how do you pick one sweet orange? And so you have to have the benefit of being able to sample it. Like when you go to the ice cream store and you buy some ice cream, they give you a little sample. So we used to do that at my dispensary. My manager, Dave Colbert, he used to sample, and let patients see and feel it. What do you like here? And so I think we're trying to. This is the biggest unification of all the different groups here in Vancouver in response to you guys coming here. So I hope to see you guys soon, and I'll be setting up a meeting with you and Jason Wilcox and Paul Hunt from the Blue Cross soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I know it's gonna go viral down there, Joe, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
And
Looking forward to you.
I'm a real huge cheerleader here for you guys, and want to do anything I can to help.
Okay, so I'm gonna check out here, and we'll be monitoring you guys and station as you're gonna carry on, I assume. And pleasure.
No, we're actually gonna. It's perfect. We'll finish on the top of the hour now. So yeah, we're all rounding up. So we'll drop the server out in 2 or 3 minutes. So yeah, it's been great to have you with us, Joel. It'd be great to get together and keep pushing this. More and more people and to hear it, because you're coming with some clout there with you, Joel. And everyone knows we can't have enough support. We really can't have enough support. And if we can, well, we're not it can. I've got to get rid with all that if we can rubbish. Excuse me. We will have this first stepping stone at least. There is an Indiegogo, a bigger fundraising. We were discussing this earlier. How big to go? We need to leave that up to the people, really, and let them decide. We have to put a cut-off point on, of course. So wherever we get to, that will be the size of the facility that we will put into practice. That's what we will do. So yeah, I'm learning not to put any how do you say, any restrictions on this, any boundaries on it. Of course, we have for the first 100 people, and the first 100 people will become the founders of that first stage, and in that is actually the foundation of finance, and really, it really is compassion. To put that into place, that will give Rick the ability to at least begin and start. What we do then with the Indiegogo really is the big push then. We want to see a full research facility there where members can go, they can spend time in the right environment, get the right food, where they're not being stressed out. They're really not. It's a big part of it. It's not just the hemp. It's not just the Rick Simpson oil. It really is about putting the facilities there which are independent, where we can get solid information and evidence. It shames me to use the word evidence. We shouldn't be here on a planet where we're having to now gather all this evidence together and perhaps start again if necessary. I sincerely wish that we don't, but it looks that way. And get medical staff, get them outside, get people to put it down in a manner, right, that they can't refuse, and then present it to the world. Invite them to Spain, invite them there. We put that on, not to the smokers of the world, to the doctors and the medics and these people. We'll put that on. We've got to present this now to the world, yeah. And look, I know the head of this beast isn't in the doing. It's us. It's us lot in the root of it. Us lot in the root of it. We'll get the doing done. And that's all it is now. Present that in a manner that it can never be disputed ever again. We are now recording it. We're going out live. And that's the reason. We put this out there. Open source for everyone. Everything we do is copyable. We ask you to keep the links there. Focus in this Compassion Club, the Phoenix Tears. It's an idea. It's not our idea. Yeah, all right, Dark City, we come together and you can say this is where it was rekindled. But just like Rick's oil, it's not our idea. It's not Rick's idea. Rick rediscovered it. And I say we're doing the same. We're now just speaking around that campfire like we might have done centuries ago. And we're speaking of it. That's it. No pollution of it. No Tipexing it out and putting their own words in. No photoshopping it. No editing it up. Well, of course, for the snappy jingles, we'll allow Rick to be edited. Well, you get what I'm saying. It should be free and it should be out there. So let's make it that way. Anyway, that was an impromptu Dark Shirt City. I nearly said shitty then, and that was a Freudian slip.
Could I just say something?
Oh yeah, get in there.
Yeah. All right. My wish first point on my wish list for this radio station is having an app on the iPhone for the listening part, because it's a little awkward going in on an ordinary site, you know, and it jumps out often. And Jabba is also, maybe he's listening now, I don't know. But an app, I don't know how advanced you have to be to develop that. But well, that would be my.
He is Jabba,
Rise up!
and he's always listening.
Good.
Yeah, you got a thumbs up, man. You got a thumbs up. What came in the chat room at the bottom.
All right.
Hey, I'll close with saying goodbye to Joe and everybody else. And Joe, I'm looking forward to shaking your hand, buddy.
Yeah, hey, check out Green Creek Domes. That's one of the things we want to do is get into the building materials. And
right.
I was a swimming pool builder, so shooting it as a gunite and making a dome. Anyway, check out the site. I've been promoting that with Visionary Vancouver and all these people. We get the city of Vancouver to host us down there in the courtroom. They have it's a full-on restaurant. You got room for the band, and they basically got a big area for the speakers, you know, for like that, and all the judges and lawyers and the city people all use this building. And so I know other nonprofit groups have used it for their events. And so having supported the city like we did in San Francisco, I think it might be achievable here in Vancouver. So just an idea for you guys.
Hey, brilliant news to finish on, Joe. Great to have you with us on Dark City. Anyway, we'll close it off at that, guys. Thank you very much indeed. And, we'll catch you soon. We're back in what is it, in about, I don't know, about 18 hours. But you never know. You never know. You didn't know we were doing this until a few minutes ago. So what we're going to put you on? What shall I put you on? I have got here. Oh, I'll tell you what. We'll go out with Mr. Simpson. Why not?
Promote peace and harmony among nations. Being a new beginning for mankind. New beginning. Finally, after all these years, what I have been telling the public about the healing abilities of these oils has all been proven to be true. Well, of course, I'm Rick Simpson, and this is the Dark City Radio Show. Dark City Radio Show. Dark City Radio Show. Dark City Radio Show. This is about the medicinal use of cannabis. Lately, we've been trying to get this thing going together in Spain, you know, so people can come and get treatment, you know, at a Compassion Club we hope to form. Dark City Radio's Compassion Club we hope to form. I had the pleasure of coming into contact with Paul Hayden and all the other great people he is working with at Dark City Radio. Compassion Club Week, to utilize this magnificent plant in every conceivable way. It will do much to promote peace and harmony among nations. Peace and harmony among nations. Being a new beginning for mankind. So I hope you will support our plan to build a better way of life that will give both mankind and this earth as we know it a future.